Okay, finally, we've seen, the Fulanis report Biafra Radio to Asorock and to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They said, the Biafran, freedom is getting closer, and the gospel and the freedom of Biafra is getting much louder. And with this now, the Fulanis are in complete disarray. They're in a very big panic mode, and they've reported, the Biafra radio to Tinubu, just like what they did to nnamdi Kanu. They said nnamdi Kanu was causing incitement with this radio, that Tinubu and the Nigerian government must find everything possible, every way possible, to make sure they stop, this Biafra radio from functioning. And at the same time, in three continents, this radio has gotten massive support from three different continents. What is your take as regards this?
Yes, I can tell you very clearly, it's a welcome development for 85 million Biafrans all over the world who are bent on hearing their own news and hearing their own diplomatic moves, hearing their own negotiations, hearing their own treaties, establishing diplomatic relations, and know how a Biafra government is going to be factored. And the thing is that a lot of people did not believe that what happened in Finland, was just ordinary. They never knew it was not an ordinary thing, and the Biafran government and the IPOB are establishing their presence in all the continents in the world, and the quickest way to get to reach the people, because of the Biafrans who are scattered all over the world, is to establish this radio Biafra. Even though if there's going to be an election, it's still going to be okay. If there's not going to be an election, it's still going to be okay, because it's a proper takeoff, digital takeoff, communication takeoff, diplomatic takeoff, sanitization takeoff for 85 million Biafrans all over the world. It has been established, launched, approved by relevant authorities in that regard, with Ngozi Rabeze and some other people, spearheading it. And someone seems to have been very, happy, joy, tears, knowing fully well that his subjects have taken up the matter of Biafra, the Biafran Charter, and the Biafran recognition campaign to the more global world. In three continents of the universe, it's not a joke, Africa included, and it's going to bring about Africanism too. It's going to, from what we are hearing, someone from one of the countries has already said to meet Ibrahim Traore to move further in recognition of Ambazonia and Biafra together in that regard, and for support of the Radio Biafra. Radio Biafra was somehow went down in the past, and they felt that it was as relevant as recognition of Biafra the Biafran government is seeking all over the world. And by this way, we keep on sanitizing, getting to communicate and recommunicate to Biafrans both home and abroad, especially our brothers in the South. Very important, and also a medium of translation of the languages among African nations, among continents. If you are in China, you're going to be hearing Radio Biafra in China. If you're from Swahili, South Africa, Zulu, you are going to be hearing Biafran, language. In Hausa too, there's going to be hearing Biafran radio everywhere. So I think the people who thought this have deepened the Biafran solidarity and recognition all over the world.
Okay, but we see what happened, during when nnamdi Kanu wanted to bring radio transmitter, down to Nigeria here, even recently at the court, there's some to show how to go to, the DSS facility, or office where nnamdi Kanu is presently in, where they went to cross-check, the radio transmitter nnamdi Kanu brought in, but do you not think that the Fulanis, they know that as long as this radio transmitter is as long as they know that Radio Biafra is functioning, they know that this will bring more awareness for the liberation of Africa and Biafra?
Yeah, in the end, as much as they have taken it upon them, they are the only one that will go there to report in Asorock, that the Biafra is back, radio is back on air. They thought that it was something they are just going to, turn down after they kidnapped the kanu illegally and other things they are playing with Nigeria. But they didn't know that, we don't know, they don't know the satellite that Biafra radio is operating on now. Whether the Biafran government has launched their satellite in the air, whether they are in partnership with satellite manufacturing companies or corporations around the world. They don't know. Nobody knows where this one is coming from. But the fact is that, people are receiving frequency on their channels and they are listening, because it is time for us to continue to, build on our own consciousness, build on our own tradition and culture, talk about how we intend to kickstart the incoming government, and of course the several trillions of dollars that has already been put in place to start off a typical Biafra at the end of the day. So these things has gradually taken shape, so that immediately we get relevant powerful world leaders to adopt and support and recognize, then we'll have a proper takeoff, and that's why we are seeing these things are being established in exile. And that's what they say a Biafran government is exile. It is not a joke. It is in reality.
Okay, but we saw a Biafran, a very passionate Biafra. Was so passionate. He said he's ready to drop 500 million, for election to hold there in the southern part of Nigeria. He said he will make sure he do his part by donating 500 million, to the people of the Biafran. But a lot of people have advised him. They said, why is he not, investing this money in Biafra radio? Since just for the propagation of the gospel of Biafran, to reach other more continents, just like aside the three that has gotten to, that let him invest this money. Even we've seen even other people advise him to invest the money on security down in the southeast, because the Fulani continue to kill. Do you think that he should really put out this money, for the Biafra radio or for the security, purpose?
It's an extremist, a Biafran extremist. There's nothing wrong with that, about showing extremely that you are a Biafranist. That is okay. But yes, support for election. 500 million. Well, that's what how zealous, how curious, how overwhelmed to see the most popular Jewish black nation, take place physically, recognized by world leaders. And I appreciate his intentions attached to that 500 million. It's a welcome development. But we have to most times, tell ourselves the reality on ground and the truth. And what is the truth? Currently now, we are taking things face by face, taking step one after another in reality. And you see, we have so many Biafrans outside the world, Nigeria space, after the outside Biafran territories. Currently now, most of them are scattered all over the world. There are people too who are seeking avenue of which they can get more information. These are people that either through slave trade, or the Red Cross moved them out during the war, and a lot of means whereby they escaped genocide and war. So those people are looking for a means where they can be getting relevant information, so that we will able to have a one more controlled consciousness. So you can see the positive angle of where if such money is being channeled to project the radio the more, or project the issue of Fulani killing people in the eastern part of the country, and also among other things, establish more resistance movement against the jihadist occupations trying to invade the Biafran land at the end of the day. But let me tell you, add one few things to that direction. There are so many Igbo origin, Igbo slaves, or Igbo generations that are outside there in different parts of the world. I can tell you about Rihanna. I can tell you about Lil Wayne. I can tell you about Lady Cardi B. You know, so many of them, like that, thousands of them, all over there. Now look at what happened to Falcons, Super Falcons. These are the people. Maybe they don't really understand what we are talking about when we mention that there should be a liberation of this particular tribe and race that has been subjected to nothing, and still they still carry the illumination of Africa all over the place. You can see what transpired there. At every point in time, you see the Igbo blood, you see the Igbo bloodline, you see the Biafran bloodline, rising to the occasion to transform the image of this country, to send a particular signal, in all ramifications, socially and other. But you can see when it comes to anything that has to do with politics, they will tell you that this one is no go area, they are not entitled, they are not this, they are not that. But when they come to reality, they rise to the occasion. So, and these people from from the background check, we have discovered, they are Biafrans, whether man or woman. Not only in the football industry, also in the social industry, also in the IT industry. There is so many, all scattered all over the place. This Radio Biafra now is going to serve as a major tool of rebuilding and regaining our consciousness of who we are and what we stand for as the first Jewish black nation in the world, tribe. And that's what we are talking about, Biafra. And this is the only way we can send signals and then invite comrades, invite ambassadors, invite people to speak on that radio, and so that more sanitization and more understanding of what we intend doing about Biafra will come, especially those our neighboring brothers from the Ejo, Ishekiri, and Urobo, and of course the Middle Belt in Benue and the rest of them.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Imwifuru, the governor of Ebonyi State, why have you decided to punish your people? Why do you want to become a slave in the hands of the Fulanis? Why? After allocating hectares of land to the Fulani, people's land, the land that belong to community, you've decided to what? Allocate it to the Fulanis, and yet the Fulanis are causing havoc in the state. And yet, as a governor, you cannot come out and address the insecurity in your state. Then why are you a governor? The primary function of a governor or of a government is to protect life and properties. But see, you failed in that aspect, in that area. It is so shameful that the people of Ebonyi are being butchered, are being killed on a daily basis, just because of your alliance and your loyalty to the Fulani Caliphate. Why have you refused to come out and condemn what is wrong? One thing you should understand that see, you will not be governor of the people forever. You might win the election for 8 years. The Fulanis who made you governor can still make you governor again. But I am very certain that after your tenure expires, after you complete 8 years in office, you will leave the office. And now, what will your people speak about of you? Will they speak good, well of you, or will they speak evil of you? You've not joined bad wagons in the southeast. We know all the bad governors in the southeast. All the bad wagons in the southeast, we know them too well. Just some days ago, Fulani killed about 80 persons in Ebonyi State, and then as a governor, you've not issued an ultimatum to the Fulanis, despite the uprising in the state. How much has Fulani paid you? How much has Fulani? What contract have you signed with the Fulanis? For you to keep quiet and not condemn the atrocities of these people. How much have they paid you? How much have they paid you? That is the question begging for answer. How much has the Fulani paid you that you cannot speak up for your people? It's now the people are now carrying the whole this issue of insecurity. The people have now went that chairman to form a vigilante group so as to safeguard themselves, and you are the governor of the state, and then every month you get security votes worth billions from the federal government every month, and then you cannot safeguard life and property of the state. Are you afraid of Fulani? Just some months ago, you went to build mosques just to please the Fulanis. Have we forgotten our identity? Have we forgotten our origin? That Ebonyi State is a Christian state. How many governors, how many Fulani governors have you seen building churches in the north? How many Fulani governors have you seen building churches? The same you, Ufuru, you went as far as sending Fulanis to Mecca during the pilgrimage, during that Hajj era. This year, how many Fulani governors have you seen sending Christians to Jerusalem? How many have you seen sending Christians to Jerusalem? What contract have you reached with the Fulanis that has made you neglect the people you claim to govern? Don't forget that Peter Mbatu was Ifeanyi was a slave to the Fulanis. He used his private jets to lift kanu all the way from Kenya. Ifeanyi, but today he connects with Buhari. But today, where's Ifeanyi? And where's Buhari? But the same man they plan to buy is still alive. That even when he was supposed to be buried in his hometown, the people rejected his corpse. I mean, Ifeanyi, what kind of a leader are you? What kind of a leader are you that your people are being pied on a daily basis? That see, the people even went as far to form a local vigilante for them to protect themselves, and yet that local vigilante does not have the backing of the state assembly. At every now and then, you promise to protect them. In return, nothing has been done to protect these people. Ever since Fulanis have been ravaging in Ebonyi State, you've not addressed people. You've not issued a broadcast to give directive or send them packing or to send Fulani packing. We saw what transpired in Lagos State when Governor Fashola sent Igbos out of Lagos State. He did that because as a governor, you have such powers. But here you are romancing with the Fulani, giving hectares of land for them to go about their open grazing. giving them hectares of land for their ruga, and yet your people are dying in their numbers. Your people are dying in their thousands. It is a shame. It is shame. It is a big shame that we have people who cannot speak for his people when the time is needed. And that is why Mazen Kanu is now has been loved by the people, because Mazen Kanu stood for the people when the Efulefu governors of South Sudan cannot rise and defend our people. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu stood and defended the entire South Sudan region against the Fulanis, against external invasion from the Fulanis. He stood against the Fulani conquest. Against the Fulani conquest. His voice was loud. Far away Nigeria, that he was advocating that everybody should go and defend themselves. It saw some months ago, Tiwa Danjuma also said that everybody needs to defend themselves, and then you as a governor, you are not defending your people just because of what the Fulanis would give to you. I don't know what the Fulanis are giving to you that you cannot come out and speak against this Fulani. Anyone believing in one Nigeria, that person should have himself checked, because one Nigeria will not work. No matter how you do the permutation, the one Nigeria saga, it can never work. No matter how you pretend, the one Nigeria saga will not work, because one Nigeria that you've been passing all these years and nothing good has come out of the one Nigeria. Nothing good has come out of the one Nigeria. It has been pained from sorrow to pain and down to what? Anarchy. So anyone deceiving you that this one Nigeria will work, the one Nigeria can never work, because some person feels they are superior, some person feels they can bring their car all the way from Ilela in Sokoto down to Ebonyi State, and then nothing will happen. For how long can we continue with this shenanigan? That the people who we thought who will get mandate to protect us are the one conniving with Fulani herdsmen just to cause havoc in our land. The question is, are we safe in our land? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has told us countless times that we are not safe, and then the prophecy has been fulfilled. It's here. So if today is your first time of watching this channel, please kindly like this video. Please share this video so that it will get to the governor of Ebonyi State. Like and comment. Thank you so much.